So now let's talk about one of my favorite subjects, the rise of the mega musical spectacle and the transformation of Broadway. When most people imagine Broadway today, they think of giant sets, stunning effects, soaring music. It wasn't always like that. In the late 20th century, a new type of musical emerged, the mega musical. And with it came a wave of spectacle that changed Broadway and the West End in London forever. So let's talk about how these shows redefined what theater looked like, who it was for, and how it shaped the Broadway we know today. So let's start with what is a mega musical? A mega musical is a large scale, high budget musical. It has emotional, often tragic themes. Think Phantom of the Opera. Huge, big visual and technical elements. This is the spectacle. Think Lion King with the elephant puppet. Think Phantom of the Opera with the chandelier that drops. Universal appeal. It is not specific to one culture or region. Strong branding, logos, merchandise, touring productions. These shows run for decades. They tour internationally and they attract massive audiences. The role of spectacle. Spectacle is the wow factor. It's the visual and technical magic that leaves audiences amazed. Think a chandelier crashing to the stage in Phantom of the Opera, a life-sized helicopter landing in the middle of a theater for Miss Saigon, the turntable stage that moves the story forward in Les Miserables, freezing the entire theater in Disney's Frozen, Pride Rock in Lion King. Spectacle gave Broadway productions a cinematic feel. It was bigger, it was louder, and it was more immersive than ever before. The Game Changers. This is what started it all. These are shows and creators who defined and created the mega musical era. Cats, 1981. Is it bizarre? Yes, it is. It is dancing cats. But the dancing, the costumes, the mystique made it a huge global hit. We then have Les Miserables, 1985. Huge cast, emotional storytelling, epic music. It was a worldwide success. We then moved to the Phantom of the Opera the next year in 1986. Lavish design, romance, mystery, Broadway's longest running show, and it's coming back reimagined. I'll post something about that in the on D2L. Miss Saigon in 1989, realistic war effects, helicopter, a tragic love story, unforgettable stagecraft. These are produced or developed by people like Cameron Mackintosh and Andrew Lloyd Webber, and these musicals turned into international phenomenons. Boop, boop. And it changed Broadway. It completely transformed Broadway and the West End. Tourism increased. Families, international visitors, first-time theater goers flocked to see the shows. Broadway is a huge, huge business. Commercialization. Broadway is a brand into itself now. Shows have logos, they have merchandise, they have souvenir programs. Globalization. Productions open simultaneously in London, New York, Tokyo, and beyond, often with identical staging. The lights are the same, the set is the same, the costume's the same, the directing is the same, the choreography is the same. There's a financial shift when we move into this era. Budgets got much bigger, tickets got much more expensive, and Broadway became more of a high risk, high reward industry. One real quick thing on the tickets. When Hamilton opened, everyone had sticker shock because tickets for a night at Hamilton, you would be paying at least $400 a ticket. Then Othello opened with Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal, $900 a ticket. There's starting to be some pushback on that, but it's a huge, huge business. But this also means that there are a lot fewer new, smaller musicals and plays because theaters will lean more towards big name hits that can guarantee audiences. Also, now, if a show is not quite as financially successful as, say, Cats, it's going to close a lot sooner. The expectations out of new shows is so much higher than it was in the past. Legacy and influence. Today's Broadway is still all about the mega musical. Wicked, has been running on Broadway forever, wildly popular. It's on tour. It's now 2 movies. The Lion King, Julie Taymor, Giant Puppets, still running forever. It's on tour here right now, or down here in Florida right now. Frozen, also Disney. Do you see a theme here? That's why we talk about Disney again later. They continued the tradition with dazzling visuals and broad appeal. Even Hamilton, even though it is rooted in history and hip hop, it uses spectacle and branding in very smart, very modern ways. And the stages and the set is absolutely brilliant. While some critics will argue that Broadway has lost some of its artistic risk-taking, others will point out that these shows opened doors for millions of fans and it kept live theater thriving. Um, and that's true. It's Broadway is still Broadwaying along. And if this had not happened, it might have, I don't want to say ceased to exist, but it would have become much less of a driving force than it is today. So the mega musical era showed that Broadway could be both entertainment and an experience. People travel far for this. They remember it forever. The first show I saw on Broadway was Beauty and the Beast. I will remember that until the day I die. Um, People connect across cultures with this. Spectacle may not be everything, but it certainly changed how we see the stage and how we see theater and how we experience it.